Hello and welcome everyone to CHIUW 2023, the 10th Annual Chapel Implementers and Users Workshop. My name is Engin Kayraklioglu. I'm the Program Committee Chair of this year's CHIUW. And we are so excited to have you all here. Let's start from the beginning. What is CHIUW? CHIUW stands for Chapel Implementers and Users Workshop. It's a great opportunity to learn about general information on Chapel, recent developments in the language from the team at HPE, uses of Chapel in different applications, and some of the implementation or optimizations of Chapel, both from developers and users. First CHIUW was in 2014. This is, in fact, our 10-year anniversary at CHIUW. We certainly held it in conjunction with some other conferences, but pandemic changed everything, and we were no exception. So the last 3 years, starting to 2021, we are an independent event, and we have been hosting it completely virtually. So what should you expect in CHIUW 2023? We have 15 submitted talks today. This is our all-time high, so it's super exciting for us. We have talks that are coming in 3 different lengths, and there will be Q&A. Even the longest talk will have 20 minutes, including Q&A, so it's going to be a fast-paced event. Hopefully, it will keep things dynamic, which is important in a virtual setting. We are really happy with how many organizations and countries our authors are from. This year, we have 18 organizations being represented in submitted talks, and these organizations are from 7 different countries. So some talks will be pre-recorded, some will be live, but all presenters will be here for a live Q&A after their talk. And submissions are already online on the webpage that is linked on the slide, and slides and talks will be available on the CHIUW website starting next week, hopefully. So I'd like to thank the organizing committee, which helped immensely to set up this event. I especially want to call out Michelle Strout, our general chair, Brad Chamberlain, our technical lead of the Chapel team, and Dave Wannacott, the program committee co-chair. Thanks all. So very quick overview of the agenda. I will now in a couple of minutes hand it over to Brad Chamberlain for the traditional state of the project talk. Then, without any major break, we will jump into our first session right away, which will be about productivity. Then there will be another session, and our highlight of the day will be our keynote, which I will talk about in detail in the next slide. And then in the afternoon, or after keynote rather, we will have 3 more sessions of talks, and then at the end of the day, we will have an open discussion session. If you have any topics that you want to cover during that open discussion session, feel free to just ping us during the day so we can put it in the agenda. Or if you skip that, you can just, it's basically an open mic event, and you can just unmute yourself and talk and bring up a topic during that slot. So one of the most sought after things in our surveys after the event is actually a lunch break, which we hear and appreciate the feedback, but we have a bunch of constraints. So first of all, if you're just considering continental United States, lunch for East Coast or West Coast or somewhere in between. And then there's also lots of attendees from the Eastern Hemisphere. For them, we want to finish the event as quickly as possible. So we want to avoid long breaks. So there's no big lunch break this year as well. It's inconvenient. I'm in the West Coast, and I will try to come up with something in the shorter breaks and during the talks. Sorry about the inconvenience, but this is probably for the overall best. So as I mentioned, our highlight is the keynote by Paul Hargrove from Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory. I'm pretty excited about it. The talk will be about Paul's 20-year perspective on PGAS. As a PGAS systems engineer, something as I define myself, I'm super excited to hear this timeline of events from Paul's perspective. It will be at 10:30 Pacific time. So logistics, there's no Q&A tool that we use in addition to Zoom. So if you have a question for a speaker, you can raise your hand anytime during the talk to get in line, or you can just raise your hand after the talk, and the session chair will ask you to speak up and ask your question. You can just unmute and ask, and you can also type your question in Zoom chat. Then our session chairs will relay the question to the speaker. During the breaks, we strongly encourage you to just unmute yourself, introduce yourself, and start the conversation. So with that, I'd like to thank you again very much. And the next up will be Brad Chamberlain with his State of the Project talk. If you don't know who Brad is, he's one of the founders of the CHIUW project, and he's been with the project ever since, and he's currently the technical lead of the team at HPE.